Hey everybody, welcome back to Hard West 2. We had a really tough mission. We came out on the other side, which is fantastic. We also, I believe, where is it? Do we have, maybe we already had it in there. I got a notification saying that I had received some type of special gun because of playing Hard West 1, but I don't know, maybe that was already in there from the beginning. Either way, we need to go back and tell the emissaries some stuff. And typically I like to start these like in a mission. But that's not always going to be possible. That was a really long one. What did we need at the old silver mine again? Let's just check here. Nothing. Okay, fine. I guess we're going back deep. Let's keep it on fasty here. Gotta make a deal with the horse rancher, talk to the refugees here. And then we have our main missions. Talk with the natives. Approach the elders of the tribe with Clylish as my translator. Tell the chieftain that you freed the emissary. There we go. You have my word. We managed to free the boy. He's grateful. Now he and the elders will need to decide how to proceed. We want you to take this artifact as a reward. You should feel honored. A jawbone club. Okay. Jawbone club. Is that, I imagine... Okay, what is good about this? Let's see. So, instead of days where they can't use weapons, their field of view shrinks, the character cannot move. So this is really good, obviously, for melee enemies. You could run in and whack them. But I feel like having the days would be better. It says it can't use weapons. I imagine that melee weapons would still count, but could be wrong. I don't know if we saw that trigger very much in the last mission. Okay. Let's talk with the refugees here. Talk with the Kalakala refugees. We approach the group of troubled refugees right outside the trading post. Bring the sole survivor to his family. We're going to get snakeskin boots plus speed. Love that. And it resists crippled. You know who that's good for. The refugees were happy. They managed to save at least one of their own. They didn't have much hope. They rewarded us with what they could spare. Thank you. Now, I betcha this is going to be a trinket, right? Yeah. So do I replace this? Because it gives a bullseye chance for melee attacks. But honestly, it's not something we can really rely on. And I feel like him getting in closer is going to be better off. So, we'll keep it like that for now, but we may end up switching that depending on mission loadouts and the like. I'm just going to head towards this here. I actually don't mind this zoomed out view. I don't see any reason why I need to be in tight. Okay, Pine Falls is there. Yeah. Okay. It was a rather small, secluded ranch ran only by one man, but he was good at his job. He managed to keep his horses healthy and fed despite the weather thanks to a barn full of good hay. He had other problems, though. What are you looking for in that damn weather, huh? Explain Lieutenant's deal to the rancher. So they need horses? What do I care? My daughter's sick, and even all of their so-called military exchange bills won't buy the medicine I need. Help her or get lost. I could treat her. Little girl was very sick and needed treatment. You lose a wonderful tonic, which gives patching up. Or get Lazarus to ally. We'll just give a tonic. That's fine. God bless you. And to think, I was ready to shoot you on sight. Give me these damn military bills. I'll eagerly trade a dozen of my horses for the life of my girl. Tell you, Lieutenant, we have a deal. All right. Let's do it. For some reason, I can't scroll up there. There we go. There's somebody O'Kane's farm down there, too, we gotta check out. Lieutenant Drake was a tall, serious, and somewhat melancholic man, but he had a spark of intelligence in his weary eyes. A rare thing among the brass. He offered us some thin coffee in his tent. Here's the horse report. We settled a deal to get your horses soon. As promised, here's an exceptional piece of weaponry. It belonged to our captain before the damn cold took him, or I could give you 80 bucks. 6 damage, hey? You know what? I think we'll take it. Thank you. Okay. So now, somebody like old Bill here with Pistolero and this, he's dealing 7. I like that. I do like that. I wonder if... So I feel like Laughing Deer, this is actually not bad, because he can usually get a bravado off his melee and then kill with this from the position we run him to. Wait a sec. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, sorry, that's the one we just put in there. Widowmaker there. Dirty Copper. So this one gives, over the Dirty Copper, at least gives us the crit chance. Alright. And again, we'll have to finesse that. So what are we thinking? I'm thinking maybe Spirit Totem or Pine Falls. Let's do Pine Falls because it's closer. Pine Falls, a fine town. It's a pine town, if you will. No, bad. Okay. Finally, we were welcomed by the hustle and bustle of the true hard Western society. Luckily for Deer and Bill, people were so busy, no one even looked at us twice.
New town, new trouble. Ha! Makes me feel alive again.
It seemed that all the commotion was tied to a rescue expedition. Good folk of Pine Falls rushing to the aid of their brethren in Boomtown, right. Or in Boomtown. Right. More like their greed and fear. They needed the furs and they needed the trains grounded at Boomtown. And to do that, they needed to clear the great avalanche blocking the eastern pass.
This is serious. If that pass isn't cleared soon, the people in that valley, including everyone in Boomtown, won't survive that freak winter.
Hope they can make it. Wish them luck, really, but we have more pressing matters to attend to currently. Okay. What is this? Store. Let's see what they're selling. Okay, so here's a shotgun that does 2, but at a longer range. I don't know, I'm not seeing the value based on that last mission. Desert Rangers, Widowmakers, we have enough of. Like, the coach gun... Oh, I see, but it's a 1 cost. Okay. So it's 1 AP versus 2. Fair play. Okay, okay, okay. Other than that, though, is there anything else we'd want to buy? Nail bomb for bleeding. Smelling salts. Might not be bad. Let's just buy a couple of these. I think even just having for, having these types of things. What is this? $0. Why isn't this stacking? Oh, I think I just sold it. Okay, whatever. Don't know. But having these things for potential sales or potential interactions is good. Tatanka liver. It's expensive. Let's just buy 1. Dynamite, I have 1. Rope. I'll buy that as well. And then I could probably sell this. But I do feel like there may be situations where this is going to be useful. So I'm going to hold on to it for a bit. Okay. And then this thing's only $1. That's rough. How's it going here? Government finally sent the army to fight those aggressive natives, but people say they came underprepared and are stuck here, just like we are. All right. Doctor's office for healing. Sheriff's office. What's the situation? Something in his eyes told me he's not to be trifled with. It's a nice, peaceful town. I'd prefer to keep it that way. Okay. What's on the notice board? Ernie Barguckle. What a name.
Wanted. preferably alive. Murderer of Mrs. Maringer and her unborn child, one Ernest Barguckle. If you have any information regarding Ernie, visit the sheriff's office.
Huh. Now, how do we get people alive, I wonder? That's exciting. Yes, Ernie, lazy bastard, used to job remote trading posts, but during the last job, he accidentally killed the local pastor's pregnant wife. Accidentally. The folks here are quite eager to hang him. Before this crazy winter, some riders saw him around Hunchback Pass. And what about...
Wanted, preferably dead.
Oh, dead or alive.
Murderer and torturer at large, nicknamed Pilot. Visit sheriff's office for more information.
Okay. We'll hunt him down. Now let's visit the sheriff's office here. Let's ask about Pilot. This one's a pain in the ass. We have a loony on the loose, killing people, nailing them to crosses, torturing. Worst thing is that the state has a similar problem 15 years ago, then one day it just stopped. Now this Pilot is back and killing again. Townsfolk are scared. Heard that Sal from local saloon is pulling extra cash for whomever finds and kills the bastard. If you want to hunt Pilot down, you might want to look around the crime scene. Sadie Marlowe was found on a cross right in front of her own house. Right there, I'll mark it for you. What do you know about Ernie Barguckle? If you're after Ernie, I can only wish you luck. He holed up somewhere at the Hunchback Pass, and I doubt anyone will manage to rat him out of there before all this snow thaws. Still, if you want to try, be my guest. Be warned, though, Ernie is afraid of nothing. Maybe except fire, since he got severely burned as a kid. Interesting. Okay. Saloon. Place full of two-faced scum. After we mentioned Pilot, Sal asks us to follow him to the small office. Tom's right, and gathering extra cash for the reward. People are terrified. You never know who you might stumble across. Victim nailed to a cross in the wilds. If you really want to catch the bastard, there's one man who might help, a trapper named Bergson. I'll mark his ranch on your map. Oh, okay, so that maybe he sets us up with a trap that we could then use to get him alive. Let's talk about the expedition. Stood in the street smoking and going through our munitions while Lazarus had been parlaying with the expedition foreman. Seemed to be quite respected in Pine Falls. After a long time, he walked back to us and explained the situation. We have two main problems they need to solve to get this expedition underway, and that means we have two problems, since we desperately need to get to Boomtown. First, they need workers, and not the soft townsfolk of Pine Falls. Jesus. They need seasoned pioneers, like the people from Kalakala. And two, they need an expert, someone who did similar work in the past. Good news, they already found one. Bad news, he got lost somewhere north of here, vanished without a trace. If we want to get to Boomtown and grab the siphon, we'll need to help them solve those problems.
Why do we always have to do these people's dirty jobs? I wonder what would happen if for once we would ask them for help. I bet they would drop everything and risk their lives straight away.
No, they wouldn't, but also, they're not the main characters in the video game. Come on, Flynn, these people suffered enough. Might as well help them along the way. So he's at 1 on 8. She is at 4 on 8. Let's get his going. Seems like a lot of healing options with him at Ally. You want old Mervyn to freeze to death, Flynn? Come on, they're counting on us. Besides, we need this path open anyway. Since we're already been to Kalakala, we saw that no one survived. Maybe we should ask the refugees we met at Zeke's trading post to be willing to join the expedition's effort. As for the missing engineer, no idea who might have taken... Or I have an idea who might have taken him. The cursed Moses O'Kane and his whole clan of inbreds. I can lead you there. Well, folks, seems like finding that engineer is our priority now. Lead the way, preacher. There's no time to lose. Okay. So, there's Hunchback Pass for Ernie Barguckle. Bergson's Ranch. Old Silver Mine. And then where were those refugees again? O'Kane's Farm, as we pointed out. I think the refugees were back here. So let's make that run. But we don't have an... oh, wait, do we? Yeah, talk with the Kalakala refugees.
It's
right there.
freezing out here.
Approach the group of troubled refugees. Gathered the refugees and explained the situation. We made them understand that clearing the passage was in everyone's best interest. and added something about how they'd have a warm place to sleep and something to eat as long as they were willing to work. A lot of them agreed to that, and soon most of the refugees packed up their belongings and left towards the expedition camp. Excellent. Is there anything with Zeke here? Oh, the provisions. That's right. Here you go. Brought the food you asked for. Now I can feed this damn crowd with their own supplies. Thanks much. I'll give you a discount for your assistance. He doesn't really have anything I want to buy. Oh, this is new, though. I'll take that. Oh yeah, and we forgot that sack of coal. We didn't get the sack of coal from Cala. That's too bad, because I could have got some dynamite there. That's unfortunate. Let's look at Sadie Marlowe's place here. A decent house. Now, this is the one that we approached before, but there was nothing to see except for this note that was claimed by the government. Look for clues. Carefully searching the house, we found two interesting things. An old photograph of a group of people in front of Sal's saloon, and knife-carved sentence above the door inside, which Lazarus identified as a Bible quote. Behold, a pale horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following him. What the hell? That's bizarre. Okay. Let's investigate Bergson's place. Small, cozy ranch ran by a trapper named Bergson, a big man taller than any of us. Used to trade his old trapper equipment for cash. Seems like it wasn't home this time. Inside we found signs of combat and blood. Someone took Bergson and moved him somewhere. The tracks were fresh. Okay, let's track him. Yeah, these are the tracks. Really shouldn't come out in these fancy boots in this weather. He's been followed, though. Oh, we're going here.
Oh, my lashes are freezing over.
More tracks. Bergson must be near. Red Cross. Pilot got to Bergson before he managed to talk to him about it. Holy smokes. There he was, nailed to a cross and horribly mutilated. Before he mercifully ended his torment, he managed to give us a name, Keller. He was still alive. Keller. I know a man by that name. He has a farm not far from Pine Falls. But is it the name of the killer or the next victim? That's a good question. Here's the farm. Let's hit it. To call it a farm would be an overstatement. Bunch of barely holding buildings and broken fences. Whomever runs this place isn't doing a great job, but that Keller guy wasn't all bad. He was eager to trade, at least. Huh. Okay, what are your ties to Pilot? We have some questions. He wasn't there. We decided to search the house just in case. Remembering the Bible quote from Sadie's house, Lazarus found Keller's Bible. The same photograph was tucked between the pages of the Revelations from whence the quote came. Look at the photo. All people marked on it with X's except. Could this be Sal himself, only younger? It's got like a hit list. Warren Pine Falls Saloon about Pilot. Let's go. Sal wasn't home either. Some drunkard slurred something about Sal rushing to an old silver mine. Oh, okay. We left in a hurry, hoping to finally get close to the end of this bloody chase. The silver mine. We know where that is.
Do we have to wander in this snow?
Let's go, baby. Old shallow mine. Whatever silver people found here must have barely paid for the cost of the operation. Look for Sal. He's there. There in the light of some mining lamps, we found Keller and Sal. Sal was tied to a chair. Keller had his gun pointed at the saloon owner's head. Whoa. Is Pilot the one who's dead or alive? I want to say yes. Didn't want to take any chances. We're all quiet. We were all quiet as we wrapped Keller's body to present to the sheriff. I hope that's the right call there. Do we have,
Are we there yet?
Oh, I can just click on this. Oh, that's nice. I do wish that I could, like, click on the, to get, like, the mission briefing again. For some reason, I can't see that anywhere. Yeah, pilot, 90 bucks. I figure, like, why take the risk, right? What a story. Let me grab a pen and some paper. The newspapers will lose their shit over this. All right, here's your reward, plus some extra gold from that old bastard Sal's pool. Barguckle. Okay. The notice board says 2 there, but those are the ones we looked at. It would just be nice to be able to see this again. Oh, you know what? Since we're doing this, let's talk with Laz. Ask about his past. We got a couple chapters here.
You want to know more about me? I'm not worthy of your scrutiny. What I'm after.
May as well go all story heavy today.
Solomon and I are deeply invested in all things supernatural. Though we come at it from different angles. He's a man of science, but me, I only care about keeping things in balance and revealing them in their own time. Where were we? Right. Balance. That's one thing the Hard West has lacked for a long time. But lately it's gotten so bad you can't even count on death, much less taxes. Just look at you, Bill, for instance. If death can't hold sway over people anymore, then what's ever gonna stop them?
That is a good question.
Death. Death is important, Jin. Don't you think? Death brings order to life. Just as all things have a beginning, they also need an end. One that we all must face, along with whatever judgment comes thereafter. And the fact that Mammon is messing with something so basic as that is more dangerous than you could know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they wrap up each of these stories.
About the Undertaker and his son. Supposedly, those two made pacts with the devil and death himself, then fought for the fate of purgatory itself. Of course, it's just a story. But folks say the Bible's just a book of stories, too. Stories have power.
Huh.
And they give it to those who tell them best.
That's an interesting take from a preacher, actually. I like that. I like that. Let's talk with Deer. How'd you end up in Boomtown?
I jumped out the window at the same moment when you and Flynn vanished. Landed in a pile of snow. After I dug myself out, a rider in the distance saw me staggering around. Instead of helping me, he took off. Came back later with a whole mob of men.
I ran, but they caught me and dragged me to town. Someone recognized me from a Dead or Alive poster, and they decided stringing me up would make it easier to collect. That's when you arrived. So that was back at the beginning. That's cool. What about your past? That's chapter 1.
Something is deeply wrong with you if you think you can just casually ask me about my past.
Huh.
Riding together, even killing together, does not give you that right. Even if I wanted to share my story with you, you could not possibly understand it. You are a stubborn one. Fine. I will speak. I come from the people of the Great Plains. Once, we were free. The horizon was ours. And we belonged to the earth and the sky. Everything was in harmony for generations untold. And then your people came.
Yikes. Yeah, this is going to be a rough one. That's going to be tough. Let's get some rest. And Klalish. Oh, look at this. We can get her to hunt for provisions if she's loyal. That's cool. Ask about her past.
I come from the northwest coast, where my people hunted whales and deer. We were prosperous and peaceful. and rarely had any trouble with any settlers. But that was before the Elkrut massacre. One of your wealthy men became interested in our land, rich in trees and pelts. He tricked the local settlers and the army soldiers at a nearby fort into turning against us, providing false proof of our supposed crimes against them. He also bribed a man from another tribe, Singing Fish, to live among us and sow trouble.
Singing Fish.
Remember that wealthy trader I was talking about? He kept plotting against us for years. In the end, violence broke out. My people clashed with countless soldiers and settlers. Over 1,000 people died, including most of my family. How did I survive the battle that slaughtered my family? I ran away, leaving my family and friends to die.
Pretty viable tactic.
After wandering lost for days, I found shelter with distant cousins. I was only 10 years old then. And I still remember the smell of blood and gunpowder filling the air.
These are tough, man. I almost wonder if it's better to just go all the way to get chapter 5 and then listen to it all the way through. They do kind of reference previous parts of the story, so we should be able to keep it together, but yeah. Okay. Hunchback Pass. Took us hours to track down Ernie in the Hunchback Pass. Finally, we approached a solid hunting tree stand perched high on a mighty fir. There we saw light and smoke coming out of it. It had to be the place. Let's approach. Once we moved towards the stand, we heard shots, and the snow around us exploded in a gunfire. That bastard had a perfect position. It was no mystery now why no one managed to bring him in. We pulled back and hid some distance from the tree. Oh, look at this. So we could use Klalish's experience as a companion and just get the rifle. Or we could use one of these things. We'll use Klalish. You stay here as a diversion while I double back, crawling through snow and get him from behind. I'll end this swiftly. Keep shooting and make sure he thinks we're all here. After an hour or so, we heard a single shot, and wounded Ernie fell from the stand onto the snow. Kalish joined us soon enough, looking like a snowman. Oh, nice.
Justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
So he's only wounded. Maybe the other options, the dynamite, I imagine, kills him then? Should get it back to Pine Falls in the sheriff's office. Fat loot? Why is that called fat loot? I don't know if I'm missing something there, but that's hilarious. Here we go. He's alive. Caught him alive. Well, folks are going to have their spectacle after all. Here's your reward. Okay, so we got a decent chunk of cash here. That's solid. I kind of want to go to the spirit totem next.
We ain't really dressed for this.
The woods were dark and thick here. We could all feel a powerful presence lingering there. If not for the things we've survived lately, I'd probably shit myself. Or maybe it was the fact that I had no soul that made me feel braver. Approach the totem. Flynn took a few steps forward, afraid and angry at the same time. Dangerous mixture when it comes to that girl.
Well, we're here. Lalanayet sent us, so show yourself. I'm waiting.
Lalanayet. I've been saying that wrong. I said Lalanet. Lalanayet. That's tough.
Spirit Bear. I heard stories about him. Never met him in person, though. This is an exceptional thing, Flynn. Do not waste it.
Suddenly there was a warm wind and a rustle of branches. Shadows seemed to elongate. The nook we stood on drowned in mournful darkness. And in that darkness, there he was. Huge, majestic, scary as shit. And he spoke in fucking English, I kid you not.
I know of you, God.
Whoa.
And of your enemies and your allies. And all the paths that lay before you.
You know about Mammon?
I know that Uktena has awoken, and is rampaging through these lands, sowing chaos and leaving death in its wake. Know this. I want him gone, and I will aid you in finding him.
Okay. Who are you?
I am one of the many. I tend to things that have spirits lingering in them. I guide. I grant power. This must suffice.
How sick would that be if we get a bear in the party? I would be happy to take it. How do we find Mammon? Lala Nayet. Lala Nayet. I'm still saying it wrong. Said you can help our Flynn to find some kind of gateway to hell. We call it Hellgate Station. Is that right? Lala Nayet.
I can feel tremendous spiritual power in the one you call Flynn.
Ooh.
And I can help her unlock it.
Yes, please.
You, little cub, will have to unravel the cocoon of fear you've been wrapped in since the day you were born.
No! No way! This little piece of witchcraft I've used to survive is enough. I never wanted this, and I definitely don't want this now.
Too bad, so sad.
Come on now, Bear. You can't expect this child to.
No one asked you, lady. I can tell him to fuck off all by my lonesome.
Okay, let's get Clalish up to 4 here.
You heed my advice.
Maybe Clalish is right. Maybe that's just too much to bear. No pun intended.
This is the only way you'll ever be able to find him and face him with a hope for survival.
This is the good way. This. Oh.
Good way.
Bro.
This is the way, and no other will ever be offered to you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I guess we can't just use a compass?
Take these herbs. Once you are ready, throw them into a fire burning on sacred ground. Inhale the smoke. This will transport you and 3 others to the spirit world, where you will face your fears.
Damn. We know everything we need. Thank you for your help, buddy.
We'll meet again, gentleness. Go. Face your fears, young Flynn. I'll be with you.
I wonder if he's gonna fight with us. Begin Flynn's vision ritual. I think I'm gonna do these in order here. So I know this brings us back a tad, but...
Let's get out of this cold!
Lazarus led us northward until we saw a snow-covered farmland in a cozy valley by the frozen lake. According to Laz, this land belonged to O'Kane clan. He suspected they were behind all the strange disappearances. They don't look friendly from afar.
I had some dealings with the O'Kane clan in the past. They were never right in the head, mark my words.
Now, do we want to talk to them first? Let's see what happens. If they have our engineer, we should order them to set him free. Surely they won't move against an armed force like us.
You don't get it. These people are fanatics. If Moses O'Kane told them to set themselves and their families on fire, they would beg him for matches.
Jeez.
Treat them like rabid animals and put them down.
Dude, Lazarus is growing on me. I like his attitude. Ever since Moses found that strange occult folio, a book of foul witchcraft, they became even more unstable. Anyway, let's get closer and see what we're dealing with. Okay, tell you what. Maybe this is how I'll try and leave things so that we can jump in here. I'll have everybody's, like, decks and everything set up for the next fight. I know today we didn't have any combat. Apologies for that. But that may happen from time to time. But hopefully this kind of resets our episode structure and we go from there. If you guys have other ideas on how to handle this too, in terms of building these episodes, let me know. But I feel like this is the best way. So that's what we'll do for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you at O'Kane's farm tomorrow. Bye for now.